the compassion or the, opening the heart has to actually be and can be by having more clear understanding. And you mean by wisdom. The more understanding, more clarity of the mind should and could bring opening of the heart, which is compassion. And this, I think, is extremely important. The compassionate way of acting, or compassionate way of feeling, is not just kind of too much emotional. It's emotional, but it's not just by, kind of compulsive emotion. Very clear, kind of logic, understanding, need, benefit. To see very clearly that, as I mentioned, to act or to feel compassion, kind, is good. Good for, not only for others, good for others, but also good for myself as an individual. And anything that actions taken, even the justice and things like that, and the social things, if it is based on compassion, then it is useful and it is it's helpful. Even if it is sometimes restricted, but it has to be, if it is done with compassion, then it can be of help to the person, not with hatred even for the person, but with the understanding that this will prevent this person doing something wrong, or harmful to himself or herself and to others. So therefore, if we do things with compassion, if we understand deeply what is the best way to help somebody, to help myself, to help the society, then any action we take with that becomes the compassion. Therefore, sometimes, people ask these questions, that you have to be angry. If you are not angry, you cannot fight against injustice, for instance. And in a way, it's true that when you're angry, then you have certain energy, and then you come forward and you kind of have less fear, and then you kind of act strongly. But just anger is not a very good, good strength. The force of anger is said to be like a flame. It goes one, and then if you're angry, you become anger, and then angry, and then you become very powerful. But as soon as that anger goes away, and it often goes away very quickly, and then you are kind of exhausted. And when you are in the kind of, in the kind of grip of anger, then you often go out of your clear mind. You become a little bit too much emotional. So when you act or say something within that state of anger, you always overdo it. And therefore, most of the time, whatever you do in anger, you kind of have to regret afterwards, because it's kind of too much, something like that. It cannot be kind of sustained. That's why it is said that if you take the compassion as the means to gather strength, force, then it would be much more kind of sustainable and much more level-headed. They say, from Buddhist psychology, they say that actually the anger and compassion can come from the same situation. Say you go, you see something is happening which you don't like injustice is being done. So you can get angry or you can get compassionate, at the same time, because of the same situation. If you look at that situation and then see these are the people, this is the person who is doing this thing wrong, you get angry. You try to do something about the situation, but very often it becomes kind of personal against the person or the people. So therefore, after some time, it is also possible that you actually forget the issue. I have to kind of harm this person, or I have to defeat this person, I have to, so this person is bad. And actually the real issue, why you got angry, kind of got lost. If just it is anger. But if when you see injustices being done, and then your concentration or your focus does not go only on the persons who are doing this, but on the issue. This thing which is happening should not happen. It has to be another way. Then it's the compassion happens, and there it's not against anybody. So therefore there is no need of an anger, but a strong compassion. This situation needs to be changed. And I would like to do something to change this situation. It's not against anybody, it's just for justice, for good, for something that will make this situation better. When that kind of a focus happens, then there's no need of any special anger, but compassion. And therefore that compassion, because it's not only anger, so you don't have to have completely lose your head by the anger, and you don't necessarily kind of targeting somebody as your enemy or something like that. So there is no real hatred, but a kind of an issue that you have to pursue, and you have to change the situation. So therefore that force, or that kind of commitment to change that situation or bring that justice becomes much more kind of sustainable. And so therefore it's often said that the compassion is the more suitable way to fight against injustice and not anger only. Because then it's, you want to do something, you try to do something that's good for everybody, it's not against anybody. And therefore, you always feel that this needs to be done. And so therefore there is no kind of time that, now I'm too tired, or now it's not. So therefore, it's good for everybody, and then the kind of sustenance of that energy also continues. And because you are not hating anybody, so therefore you are not going kind of against anyone, and you are not, it's not about harming somebody, it's about helping anybody, everybody involved. So therefore, this kind of the compassion is based on a very clear understanding the situation, understanding that what I want to do is something that's useful and good and beneficial to myself and also to others, and as many as possible, as widely as I have.